Be sure to cook. Welcome back to another show of Be Sure to Cook. Today, we're getting Jewish style on you. We're going to be making a liver pâté. And what a liver pâté is we're going to be mashing up some livers and spreading them on crackers. So let's do this and let's make it. Okay, I have some cold water running over a strainer, and I'm going to be using some chicken liver. And the chicken livers is those little pints of chicken livers. I think it's a 20 ounce, 1 pound, 1.25 pounds of chicken livers. And I'm going to be using 2, and I'm going to open and drain and clean these in really cold water. Okay, what I did is I took 2 pints of liver, chicken livers, and I rinsed them in very cold water. And you want to make sure you rinse them in cold water, because if you rinse them in warm or really hot water or really warm water, it'll cook your livers. So they cook very easy, so make sure they're really cold water. Okay, I'm taking a medium onion and I'm gonna cut it in half, and I'm just trying to get flavor. And I'm gonna cut it a second time in half and give wedges, because I'm going to put these wedges, a couple of wedges in here to just give it flavor. And we cut them big because we want our petals to be so big, just so we can take these out when they cook. So I'm going to do a half of onion in half because that's all I need. And we're draining our livers, and we're going to be using some other stuff. So let's do this. Okay, I'm taking a glass pan and I'm just going to spray a little bit of non-stick spray on that pan, because I don't want those to stick. Okay, in my pan, I am going to be using, now you can go get this at any grocery store if you can find that usually sells kosher items. And those items are for people that, Jewish people, they get all those kosher items. And this is called chicken fat. It's a reduced chicken fat. If you don't have any fat, because you're going to need fat to go into these livers, because these livers are going to be baked. So we got some chicken fat that we're using, and we're going to be using some of this chicken fat. So we're going to be using chicken fat. We're also going to be using some great chicken fat skin that I have gotten off the chicken that I was using. And what I do is I take this, and you can either bag it, you can wrap it up, and you can freeze it. And you can always use this for other things that you use. So I had some chicken fat. And we also going to be using some bacon drippings that I had when I cooked some bacon. And what I do, remember I told you all a long time ago, when I cook my bacon, I cook all my bacon up, I drain my bacon in a container, a freezer container, and I take it, I let it cool off, and then I freeze it, and it's good to use it in any stews or anything that you need this with. So we're going to be using this. So let's go ahead and clean up this fat and wash this fat off. Okay. This is just some chicken skin, some chicken fat that I had gotten. And when I was making a dish, I had cut off some of the chicken fat, the chicken skin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw all this little fat, this chicken skin, in the bottom of this pan. I rinsed it off very thoroughly. Okay, these are my livers that I rinsed very thoroughly. I'm going to lay these down in the bottom of this pan and make sure I get all the little liver, because I'm going to need that. And I've got that chicken fat in the bottom because I need flavor. You're going to need flavor with this. You're not going to use all of that. You're going to fish all of this out. But we're going to just put it in here because it gives flavor when it's cooking. And I'm just going to kind of put this on top. All right. Okay, so now what we're going to do, guys, we're going to need flavor. So what we're going to start off with is a little garlic. And I'm using chopped garlic. You can use fresh jar garlic. You can use fresh chopped garlic. If you do, just use a clove of garlic. Chop it up and just lay it in here. Give it some flavor. Yeah, so you need about maybe a teaspoon, a teaspoon of chopped garlic. Then, because it needs flavor, and we're going to use about a teaspoon of dry garlic, powdered garlic, about a teaspoon of that. And we're going to be using these seasons again also. This is just a flavor. And about a teaspoon of Mrs. Dash, just to give it a little flavor while it cooks. Okay, and of course, everybody loves some pepper. Cracked black pepper, brown pepper, any kind of pepper. Just put some pepper in there to your tasting. Okay, now, the next thing we're going to be doing. What I do? Okay, yeah. Remember that bacon fat? I'm going to use about a teaspoon or 2 teaspoons of baking fat. So a whole tablespoon of baking fat. I'm just going to put some in there and release the cracking on that. All right, then, okay, so we're going to take half of this. That's what I usually do. And I'm just going to put half of this, not half, but maybe, I don't know, it's about, I kind of eyeball this because it's all, I'm just going to spread this around here. So let's do about a whole 2 tablespoons of this chicken fat, because you already got fat in there. We just want the flavor of this. Okay, let's stir all of this up together, because when it cooks, we want the flavor. That's all we're looking for. Remember those wedges I was telling you about? We're going to take a couple of these, cut them off, and we're just going to throw these onions, whole big fat onions like this, and you want the wedges, because you're going to pull these babies out. You're not going to chop these up or use these. And we're going to put all of this in the oven and give it, let it cook together until it's done. It's going to give out great flavor. We're going to mix all this up because you want all that fat and all that. That's all going to melt and start cooking together, and this is going to be delicious. We're going to mix it up because we want all those seasons and everything to come together. That's what we want. We want big chunks of these onions because the onions is going to give the flavor to the livers. Okay, I don't want that many because I got to fish all these out. I just want enough to give flavor. Okay, this bad boy is going to go into the oven and cook about 25 to 30 minutes. And then we're going to pull it out and we're going to go from there. Okay, I am taking out the onions, the chicken fat. I'm fishing for the chicken fat and the onions, leaving my livers in here. So we're going to have to drain this. See, there's still all that juice and all that fat. That's why I left these big. See that? Leave them big, you can find them. When they're small, you can, and they dissolved in there. And then you got to mix it all in there. And that's not good eats. It is good eats, but if you were having it with dinner. So we're just looking for the big fat onions. See? Good enough. Liver doesn't take that long to cook. Look at that. Yeah, look at that. These are great onions. Now I'm going to drain all that. Oh, that's liver. All that inside here. And I'm going to sit here and let this drain because it's already been cooled down a little bit. I'm just going to sit here and let this drain for another 15 to 20 minutes to make sure there's no liquid. It's drained all the way down. Okay, now I'm boiling 2 eggs. So these have to be boiled. And we're going to boil these and we'll be back. I took about 2 to 3 green onions and I chopped them finely. And I'm going to put these in the processor with my liver. Now let's step over here. And I had drained my liver. You remember you see me drain it in a drain, and I drained that. And it was no liquid in here, and I shook it, make sure it's no liquid. I put it in the food processor, and now I am going to start to add some seasoning. In my seasoning will be again some garlic powder, I'll say about 1/2 tablespoon of garlic powder, some cracked black pepper to your taste, and if you need more after you taste it, just go back. Some more Mrs. Dash blend, I put that in there for season, about 1/2 tablespoon of that also. Okay, let's get to pulsing this up. Make sure everything's right. I'm just gonna pulse this. And I'm gonna let it rip. Okay, after I blended, I added a little bit more garlic powder because I didn't have enough taste to it. I'm gonna add some chopped onions, just a little bit. Then I'm going to start pulsing this again. All right, I'm going to add some salt, and this is a little kosher salt, just a little kosher salt in here. Okay, I'll make sure this liver is all in here. Okay, and let's turn it on, let it rip again. I'm gonna start adding egg. Hard-boiled egg has to be chopped up finely, so I'm just gonna start turning that on and breaking that up. The rest of my chopped onions, and I added a teaspoon of mayonnaise. I know that sounds disgusting, but it is not. All right, now I'm going to chop it back up. Okay, after you put the 2 eggs and you cut up your 4 green onions really thin and you put those in there, you keep it chopping. What you want to do is, once you remember when we drained all of that oil, we let that sit, and what we did is take a tablespoon or teaspoon and we skim some of the fat off here, and we dripped 2 tablespoons or 3 tablespoons of the fat inside here and kept mixing it until it got a nice smooth, where it's really smooth. This is going to be kind of like, you know, thick but loose. You want to take this, you want to put this in a container. You want to spread it out, make it look real nice, spread it out. You want to put a top on it, and you want to put it in the refrigerator for at least 12 hours to 24 hours. It's got to solid up and get nice and thick. Then what you do is you cut it, serve it, and spread it on crackers, and it's delicious. And we're going to do that in 24 hours. So we'll see you in 24 hours. Okay, so I smeared it down in a little bowl, and I'll put a plastic top on it, the top that comes with this. And you can either serve it like it is, or you can refrigerate it for at least 12 hours so that it get real solid, and then you serve it up. So 12 to 24 hours, you know, the day before you're gonna serve this up or have your party, you put your crackers out, and it is delicious. And we're gonna do that. So like I said, I was gonna show you all what I put it in. So the next time we're gonna be serving this up, and I'm gonna show you how thick it gets, and I'm gonna have crackers and show you what it is. It's a great dish. Jews always do this every holiday. So we'll see you back here in a few. Okay, after 24 hours or 12 hours, a day before you have your party or you want to serve this, it has to sit overnight right after you make it. And it is firm, it is wonderful. I put a little crackers around it, and to make it a little fancy, I put a little bit of parsley on top. And here it is, our liver pate, or they call it chopped liver. Hey guys, I hope you enjoy making this dish with me, because guess what? I didn't do this alone. You and me, we did this together, both of us. Hey, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I want to hear your comments. I want you to come back for another episode of another dish that we're gonna make. We're gonna do it together, both of us. So, hey, see you next time. Bye.